and welcome to Dear Pop Culture Podcast. This is the podcast where we talk about pop culture that is dear to us. Today, there is no guest on the episode. It's just me, a little solo episode. And yeah, that's, I just finished recording another episode. You can tell because I'm wearing the same outfit if you're watching this, or if you're listening, surprise. But wanted to do another solo check-in. So here's what I want to open with. Right off the top, I went to see Doctor Strange. I talked about it a little bit on the previous episode, but I want to talk about it more. I thought it was really good. Last night I was like, I don't know how I feel, but I fully put on this like red eye makeup today because I was inspired by Wanda Maximoff. I was like, hell yeah, I want to be a summer goth. So yeah, it was like a little weird for a Marvel movie, but yeah, I was super into it. And I didn't like the first Doctor Strange, so this one was better. I'm a huge Marvel person, and I'm excited for the next one, I guess. I mean, there's like a scene during the credits, as there always is, and spoiler, so skip ahead 30 seconds, but if you don't want to know, but Charlize Theron is in it. What? She just shows up, and so I have to look up. I'm like, who is that? She's like wearing cool purple eyeliner, and basically the makeup. I'm inspired. My makeup is inspired by Marvel superheroes. Euphoria, you've had your time. It's time for Marvel makeup. I feel like that's a thing. But yeah, so that's super exciting that there's going to be, I don't know, it's getting to a point with Marvel where it's like, is it too much? Like the TV shows and the movies, I'm like, you had to have seen the television show WandaVision to really understand this Doctor Strange movie, I feel like. So it's like there's so much content to just watch now, and then it's like the universe just keeps expanding, and you're just supposed to keep track of all these people. Like I was thinking about Doctor Strange last night, and then I was like, oh, what about the Eternals? Like I just watched the Eternals. What are they doing? Like I don't know. I can't keep track of all these people. And I know you're really not supposed to. Like, they do try and make them stand alone. I don't know. Anyway, it was interesting. There was some really fun stuff in it. The multiverse stuff, how there was like, okay, this is another spoiler, so skip ahead if you don't want to hear it. But like the how they're, in a different universe, the Fantastic Four is part of the Avengers. And it's like, ooh, exciting. Anyway, that's not that much of a spoiler. I don't mind spoilers like that. I'm like, that doesn't tell you anything about what happens in the movie or the story, Like, who cares? I hate it when people are like, no, spoiler. I'm like, it doesn't ruin the movie. So stop being a baby. The next thing I want to talk about is Saturday Night Live season finale, which when this comes out will have aired like, I don't know, like a week or and a half ago. But so 4 really huge cast members are leaving: Pete Davidson, Kate McKinnon, Aidy Bryant, and Kyle Mooney. I gotta say, Pete Davidson to me isn't a huge cast member. Like, that is not a loss to that show. I'm sorry. I like him. I do think he's funny, but he's not like a great sketch performer. Like, I just, he's charming for sure. But also, he hasn't been on. I watched Saturday Night Live. Like, I started watching it regularly again, and he hasn't really been on this season at all. So when people are like, oh, that's so sad he's leaving, I'm like, he really hasn't been there. So it's really not going to make a difference. Same with, but that being said, like, Kate McKinnon, yeah, she's one of the funniest cast members they've ever had. But she also was barely in it this season, because she's just kind of moved on. I think she's same with Aidy Bryant. Like, they're both amazing, but yeah, you come to a time where you've been on that show for a long time, and it's like, it's time to do bigger and better things. But it was like really sad. Like, I got emotional watching 80 and Kate's like kind of last goodbye sketches. Kyle Mooney, who was one of the most unique like people on SNL in the last like 10 years, so funny. He didn't get a goodbye sketch. Like they didn't even really mention him. And like Randy told me that they cut his sketch for time. That's so sad. That's really, really stupid to me. Because Pete Davidson had a whole goodbye thing on the Weekend Update desk, and it wasn't even funny. He was just like, yeah, this is my last show here. And I was like, okay. Anyway, but what I mean to say is I was reading things of people being like, what? Why even bother watching the show? Because these people are leaving. And I'm like, well, first of all, they've barely been on it. Second of all, like, that's what the show is. Like, it always goes through cast changes. And there's some really funny people on it right now. It's really funny Bowen Yang is obviously great. Cecily Strong is one of my favorites. She's been on it for a while now. A new cast member, Sarah Squirm, she's really funny. I think she's gonna be big. And like Chloe Fineman, yeah. Anyway, if you watch SNL, then I think you like it, right? I think the people that complain don't actually even watch it. But yeah, so that's that about that. One thing I want to address that I haven't talked about that was announced in the last few weeks is Apple is no longer making the iPod. And I know for a lot of people, they haven't bought an iPod. That like this doesn't make a difference to them at all. This deeply hurts me. I am a huge proponent of having a music device separate from my phone. I think we should have. I miss the days of having a phone, an MP3 player, a digital camera. You know, you got to carry all that shit. But it has to be separate. This is the reason why our phones are always dying, and then they're like overheating, and then you have to get a new one so often, and then you break the screen because you're using it for literally everything. Like I don't need one thing to do everything. You know, I need one thing to do one thing well. I sound like an old person. You know, I need my phone to be able to send text messages and make phone calls. That's what phone does. And sure, social media. But like, also like the memory. I have an iPod that's separate from my phone. Because for a while I had illegally downloaded like thousands and thousands of songs, and it was on my iTunes, my Apple music thing, and so I had all these songs, and so I had them on an iPod forever, like an iPod Classic, and then like the idea of moving it to the phone, it's like, well, my phone doesn't have enough memory, so I was keeping that separate for so long. I fought it, and then they stopped making the iPod Classic, and then this is what Apple does. The iPod Classic just dies. It just stops working. And so then I had to buy an iPod Touch, which I hate having two touch screen devices, but I did. And I would have my iPod Touch separate than my phone so I could listen to music on it, and that's all I did on it. And it was just like there to have all the songs. And then this was a hard decision, but I stopped using that music library that I spent 10 plus years building, and I switched over to just using Spotify. But even all the liked songs on there, you'd want to download them so that I can listen to them offline. And now I just know my iPod Touch is going to die soon. I'm going to have to use my phone. I'm going to have to, it's going to use all of the memory. It's going to use all the battery. It's going to use all my data. And I think it's dumb. I'm going to go back to using a Discman, and I don't know. I hate having, I literally just got a new phone. Like, I was using an iPhone 8 up until a few weeks ago, and the iPhone, I've had I've been on a plan for 2 years, so I got a free upgrade to a new phone. But so I upgraded to an iPhone 10 or iPhone X, whatever you want to call it. Because I was like, wow, that's a new phone. It's got like the face camera. I went to go buy a case for this phone, and every store was like, we don't have that. That's too old. I was like, what? This is a brand new phone. It's because I guess iPhone 13 is out now, and it moves too quickly. I'm like, why do I need to buy a new phone every year? I can't keep up. I'm having a meltdown on this podcast episode. I am done with technology. I need to stop talking about this because I feel like it's maybe not that interesting. Let's move on. Hilary Duff. Let's talk about Hilary Duff. Wow, who doesn't love her? She just did she posed for a cover of a magazine, Women's Health, and it was like a whole like nude spread she did on the magazine, and people were just like, oh my god, she looked amazing. And she did, like, she looks incredible, but it was like they were like, how does she look so good? It's like, she's 35. That's very young. Like a 35-year-old looks young. Like they were all just like, that's crazy. And it's just like, yeah, that's not that crazy. It was just really funny to me. And then also, I mean, there was a lot of hypocrisy because Britney Spears has been posting a lot of her nudes on her Instagram, and people are like, she's crazy. What does she think she's doing? She needs to be unfreed. And then with Hilary Duff, they're all just like, that looks great. So it's just like, just let them do what they want. I don't understand the hypocrisy. But yeah. I also didn't realize Hilary Duff was 35. I had to look it up because in my mind she was like much older than me, even though when she was on Lizzie McGuire she would have been like 13, and yeah, I would have been like 10 when it was on. So but to me, I was like, wow, she's on TV, she's old. I always assume anyone on TV is older than me. Even now I watch like shows that are like teens, and then I'm like, yeah, they're older than me. I think that I'm 15. I still see myself as a 15-year-old. Is that weird? I'm just like, what? I can't own a house. I'm 15. Yeah. So yeah, me and Hilary Duff, we're like peers, basically. That's all I'm trying to say. I could complain about technology more. The Instagram update. I'm not gonna complain about it. It's just like weird that Instagram updated and they're like trying to look like TikTok, and it's just like you were your own thing, and I get it, like videos. I don't know. I like a photo sharing app. I like looking at photos. I like to be able to look at it in public and not have to have the sound on. Like I quite often will scroll through Instagram while I'm having a conversation with somebody, and I don't want to have to actually pay attention. You know what I mean? With TikTok, you have to like turn off the TV. You have to listen. You have to pay attention. With Instagram, it was great because you could have the TV on and you could just scroll and look at that. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. And, you know, so I don't know. I'm not on Twitter anymore either. So I feel like, I guess it's because people don't watch TV anymore. I guess it's because you shouldn't watch TV while looking at your phone. But it's just interesting. I feel like, and I do like TikTok, but all of this, I feel like I'm moving more and more towards like not being on social media. I don't think that'll actually ever happen. I think I will stay on it, because I have to. I like attention and I have to promote things. But I'm like, God, it's just so weird. I think we should all get off it. I think none of us are meant to be on it. We're not meant to be engaged that much. I just want to start thinking with my brain again. Is that too much to ask? Yeah. I'll briefly mention the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial again, because last time I talked about it on here, I just said I don't have an opinion, which remains sort of true in that I haven't watched any of the footage. I haven't read any of the like transcripts. I am not that interested. I feel like it's none of my business. I feel like this is an incredibly personal, fucked up thing that's happening between two people. That I'm like, why are we so invested in it? But I do get it's a kind of an important conversation. But so many people are missing the conversation part because Johnny Depp was actually found guilty in a different trial of like abusing Amber Heard, and like maybe not physically, but like emotionally and verbally, whatever. So, he actually did those things. There's a lot of people coming out now hearing about the things that she did to him, being like, oh, he was wrongly accused, he's a hero, like, people just going off being like, he should never have been fired from this movie, he should have, he's always been so hot and we love Johnny, and it's just like, no, he still did those things to her. He's still a bad guy. They're both incredibly fucked up people. I'm not on either of their side. But yeah, it's just kind of like, it just feels very like, ugh, misogynist. I don't know. There's a lot of articles that you can read about it that'll be way more succinct or, good with words. But yeah, it's just like, yeah, the whole thing is very, very not like, like with celebrities, I like celebrities. I think it's fun to look at what they're wearing and whatever. But I'm just like, when it comes to their relationships, I'm like, can we just leave them alone? I don't even with like Megan Fox and Machine Gun Kelly, I'm like, I don't really care that you drink each other's blood. I think you should have kept that to yourself. What you do behind closed doors is your business. Because now I don't want to watch a Megan Fox movie. I'm going to be like, she's weird. You get to know too much about a person and that's all you see. Whereas a celebrity who's like a bit more private, you don't know anything about them. You can just enjoy them and you just kind of think that they're that character. I want to say like Margot Robbie's someone like that. I feel like I know nothing about her, but she's really good in movies. And yeah, anyway, I mean, it is a weird era that we live in because that's what it is. Like I do that. Like I post about my life, but I feel like there's a line. Yeah. Where it's just like, yeah, Machine Gun Kelly, Megan Fox, Kourtney Kardashian, and Travis Barker. I mean, they don't really talk about like in detail what they do, but it's just like, I don't know, just there's something about them that I guess I'm like not really like, I'm kind of just indifferent about them. They just got married and I saw the pictures and I'm like, she looked great. I love her like short wedding dress with like the crazy veil. I think I love that, but I just didn't really care. I'm not invested in them at all. They're just pictures to me. That's all they are. I don't know what their personalities are like. I don't really watch the Kardashians that much, so maybe that's why I'm not invested. Maybe I need to watch the Kardashians. And I've been thinking about it. The new show, it's on Disney Plus. It's there. I look at it. I scroll past it every time. I'm like, oh yeah, the Kardashians. But there's so much that I do that with. I'm also like the TikTok family, the D'Amelios. They've got a show. It's also on Disney Plus. I'm really tempted to watch that too. Charlie and Dixie D'Amelio, the TikTok sisters. I'm like, what's their family like? I'm actually kind of interested in that. Kind of. But yeah, I don't know. It's just weird. It's just weird. I wrote down like that. I read off a notebook. For the people watching video, it's a Frozen Anna and Elsa notebook. Pretty cute. I got that at the dollar store. I've also the new season of RuPaul's Drag Race All Stars All Winners season just came out. That's great. I feel like there's so many Drag Race recap podcasts. I don't want to go into it too much, but the Snatch Game episode was so funny. I'm gonna like watch it again when I get home. It was one of the best episodes of television. The show just makes me feel good. I've been actually rewatching a few seasons of RuPaul's Drag Race in my spare time, kind of to prepare for this all winners season that was coming out, and it's so good. Like it is also just something you can have on in the background while you're scrolling through Instagram. But yeah, the Snatch Game, if you don't know, it's like drag queens doing celebrity impersonations for like a game show, a fake game show. It's pretty good. I don't really have that much else to talk about. Oh, the game show, the reality show. Is it a reality show or a game show? The Circle. It's like the show where everyone's in their own separate apartment, but it's like a social media reality game. I've been watching that. I'm obsessed with it. This season is really good. I feel like last season 3 wasn't. Season 4 of The Circle, if you're not watching it, I'm very into it. Who do I like? Oh God, I don't know. Carol just got kicked off. This is huge spoiler. But I didn't like her. Anyway, The Circle. I'm. This is all this to say that I applied to be on it. I sent in a video. I want to be on The Circle. I want to stay in an apartment by myself for 2 weeks and actually not have to look at social media and look at this other. And I know it's a social media game, but you know what I mean? Like I don't think you get news of the outside world. Like you can't do anything. I just want to, I want to be in isolation for 2 weeks. But also I do this game thing. I think it looks fun. I think I want to be like, talk to a TV and be like, hey, Circle, type this. Tell Bob that I love him. That's what's crazy, is that they all are like, they've never met each other, and they're all just like, oh, I love you so much. And like there's these like people on it right now that are like sexting. I mean, like it's TV. I think it's PG-13, but I'm like, oh, that would be so embarrassing to do on television. Like flirt texting. Oh God, I could never. Yeah, so I think that would be fun to do it. Also, the host of it, I mean, she's kind of just the voice of it, and then I guess she comes in at the end, but it's Michelle Buteau. She's a really funny comedian. She has a special on Netflix that I really loved. So, yeah. Yeah, I think that's all I have to really talk about. I had one more note maybe. Where was it? Yeah, I'm just going to look at my phone. Oh yeah, this was my note. She-Hulk attorney at law. The trailer speaking of Marvel TV shows, the trailer for She-Hulk attorney at law just came out. That makes me laugh so much, that title, because it was originally just going to be called She-Hulk, and now I guess she's an attorney. I actually didn't watch the trailer yet. I just saw a still from it, and it's Tatiana Maslany. It just in like green body paint, wearing a power suit. I'm like, this is hilarious. It either could be like really campy and fun. I have no idea, but She-Hulk attorney at law, count me in. Just by the name alone. I mean, and I think Mark Ruffalo is gonna make an appearance in it as well. you know, the Hulk himself, Hulk smash. So anyway, that's the episode for today. I hope that you have a lovely day, and that it's sunshiny or calm rain wherever you are. You know, I hope the weather's not too crazy. I don't know why I'm talking about that, but anyways, that's just because I don't know how to end things. So actually, the last episode we sung it out, but I don't think I could do that by myself. I can't think of a song. You know, it's too weird. Anyway, a little air guitar. I'll just serenade you. No, okay. I hope you have a good day, and thanks for listening. We love you. Bye.